Greetings everyone, welcome to another video here with the Credit Repair Experts. Today we're actually going to be talking about something a little bit more basic. Today we're going to touch on what exactly is the advantage of having good credit. So a lot of people talk about how credit works, and we talk about how to improve your credit and even a little bit of the dynamics of how it's used. Now let's get into a little bit of the basics. What are the benefits of having good credit? Why should you even be focused on your credit at all? A lot of people don't even use their credit. They just use cash for everything. But little do they know that cash is also credit. Right, Jesse?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, some of the advantages of having good credit are you do get a better rate for loans as well as for your insurance. You also get higher limits. You have a better ability to get house loans at a low rate. You basically save money in anything that you use your social for. If you have bad credit, typically, if you want to get like a cell phone line, you have to put down a deposit. If you want to start your electricity up in your apartment, you have to put down a deposit. If you want to, uh, get a car, you have to put down a higher down payment. All these things, you save a lot of money when you have better credit.
Yeah. So, uh, one there are a few things that some of the people have asked about whenever it comes to credit. So, one of the questions is, most people use their credit just to just like buy a house, or they're trying to get a new car, and so they're scrambling to get a better credit score, but they don't realize that a lot of the benefits of having good credit actually come outside of just those large purchases. So can you talk a little bit about how it benefits to have good credit whenever it comes to like maybe insurance rates, or even whenever it just comes to negotiating?
Yeah. So even on smaller credit transactions, a lot of times, for example, let's say, for example, your electricity company, a lot of times they offer these like payment plans or rates where you don't have to pay your bill all at once. You actually pay your bill on credit. They actually extend you credit to be able to pay a lower rate on your electricity. So even on small stuff like that, having good credit gives you an advantage. If you have bad credit, they won't approve you for that. They might try to give you a hardship, but they won't approve you for the smaller things. Uh, you know, and for like you were saying before, if you want to get a phone line, even with a phone line, if you have bad credit, oftentimes companies like AT&T or Verizon, they will make you put down 2 months worth of billing as a down payment to ensure that they're going to get the some part of the contract out, because a lot of those services is a yearly contract. So it saves you on smaller contracts like that. We have to remember that the Social Security card is actually an insurance card. So it's actually underwriting whatever agreement you're making, so that in case you don't follow through on the agreement, they're going to claim the insurance with the Social Security Administration. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And a lot of people, they don't realize that almost everything that they do whenever they attach their social security number to it, it's I guess for a lack of a better word, really, it's all dealing in credits, and the money that they actually pay, all that stuff, it goes into a completely separate account.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that either. Uh, Whenever you give them your Social Security number, they're going to transfer credits, private credits, through your Social Security account and into an escrow account. When you open up, again, I'll use electricity as an example. The account you have set up with the electricity company is a demand account. And so a deficit will populate in that demand account, and then you're asked to pay for it. Well, when you send them the Federal Reserve notes, on their end, they're notating that they've received the notes, and so the demand account balance will go back to zero. But the money is not actually being credited to that account. The money's not inside of that account. That money then gets put into an escrow account, and then the company is actually in this regard, this transaction is called a withholding agent, and it is keeping the money in escrow and waiting 3 years for a legal process to be able to claim it as abandoned property.
Right. So that that makes a lot of sense to me. I hope that doesn't go over everybody's heads.
Yeah.
So that's kind of on the more private side, right? So if we're looking at the more public side of it, it's really just your social security number, and your social security number has credit scores that are attached to it, and
Yes.
uh, so there are two transactions happening each time you run your credit score. You got the private side, and then you've got the public side, and basically your credit score is just a reflection of how your social security number operates publicly.
Yeah. Yeah. How you're using that social security number in the public. Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about higher limits and why higher limits are actually better for you in terms of both maintaining a good credit score and leveraging purchasing power?
Yes. So, in terms of the credit score specifically, um, 30% of your credit score is calculated by uh, your balance or your how much you're carrying, your utilization on your cards. So, by maintaining a 0 to 1% balance, that gives your 30% of your credit score is as high as it can be, and the higher of a limit you have on your cards, the higher total balance that you have, the stronger your credit is. Generally, 15 to 25 lines of solid credit with an average of $1,000 limit will give you a huge boost over having, let's say, one $10,000 limit card. If having multiple lines and then also having large amounts. Now, if you had 10 to 20 lines with $20,000 each, that's how you get up into the 800 range. Is when you start really maintaining large balances. I'm sorry, when you have high limits and then multiple high limit cards. So with good credit, you can get higher limits. For example, Navy Federal will give you a $15,000 line of credit if you have good personal credit on a business line as a personal guarantee with the social.
And that's kind of how you get more purchasing power. Now, uh,
Yes, that's right. So you're now able to leverage your credit more.
that's awesome. And so, having higher limits available to you as well will help you manage and maintain your debt to income ratio, and also help you manage and maintain the total available balance as well, and keeping that below 3%.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Um, and so another question that we had is, what are some of the benefits as far as like, you know, prestige and stuff like that goes along with having a high credit score? Tell us a little bit about some of the more, I guess, prestigious things and bragging rights of having a good credit score. What are some of the things that you can get that you can only get with those high credit scores?
Well, I mean, the obvious part is you get a bunch of rewards, right? So if you have good credit, you're usually getting the best cards or the best contracts. So you're getting cash back, you're getting discounts at hotels. If you have good credit, you can get set up with a hotel where you can get like a very high quality place to stay for less than a motel, right? By just paying up front and having a line of credit with them. You can uh, you can go fly wherever you want. You can collect airline miles, so now you can travel. You're free to travel. Usually, having good credit usually means you're going to use it for business purposes to increase your revenue, and so you're going to have a lot of business perks as well by having the business side taken care of. You're going to be able to get discounts on supplies. You're going to be able to get funding for your projects, and you're going to be able to go on fun business trips. You get uh, people will actually want to do business with you, and that's where prestige really comes from. Is people want you'll be getting offers for all kinds of things.
So it sounds like you can kind of, travel and stay in nice hotels and stuff like that almost
Yep,
for free.
almost. Yeah, it's basically free because if you use some of the advantages of having good credit and utilizing those contracts, you can get the cashback rewards and stuff like that relatively easily using all of your lines of credit, and you can actually generate revenue just by using your own credit.
Wow. So instead of the credit card companies making money off of you, you're making money off of them.
Correct. Now they're still making plenty of money. Don't get it mistaken, but you're getting a little bit off the top too.
That's awesome. Okay, so another question that we had was, having a credit opens up housing options to you. And, typically in this type of environment, like we're seeing right now, with the housing market being so high, how important is it to have not only a job where you have a high amount of income, but also a higher credit score available to you? Tell us a little bit more about how having a higher credit score could work to your advantage, and that maybe you could benefit more than the person that is trying to purchase the same house, or how if you're trying to get a more high-end house, you could qualify for that house without necessarily making as much money as somebody with a worse credit score.
Right. Yeah. So there's generally, the higher your credit, the less income you have to prove in order to show confidence in the lender that you're going to be able to satisfy the agreement. So uh, you save on average, just for a 1% interest rate, you'll save on average, let's say the house is $300,000. You're going to save over the lifetime of that loan about $64,000 just by having good enough credit score to reduce the interest rate by 1%.
That's pretty awesome. And then because even if you don't necessarily make as much money as somebody else, you'll still kind of cut to the front of the line, if I'm not mistaken, just by having a better credit score, because they see you actually pay back your obligations.
Yeah, they want to do business with you. A high credit score is a high reputation score.
So just because you can qualify for a house, if there are other applicants in and say it's your dream home, you're really going to have better odds of getting that dream home if you have a higher credit score than the other people that you're bidding against, for lack of a better word.
Yes. Yeah, they're actually making you an offer. So they get to decide who they make the offer to first.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize that they make us an offer, then we accept the offer. Even when you're going to buy a house, you're getting an offer from the bank, because the bank is coming in empty-handed. They don't have anything. They need your signature in order to initiate that loan agreement. So they're making you an offer. And so if you look at it like that, the credit score is basically the way that banks can interact with you and understand what kind of business that you're able to do, what you're able to take on. They'll be able to make an appropriate offer because you know your value and they know it as well.
So if you ever find yourself in a bidding war whenever it comes to getting a house, and this is kind of your dream home, and you want this house for sure, and you're bidding against somebody else, a lot of times it can boil down to how much is the bank willing to lend you versus the other person.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. How much are they willing to offer you?
Okay, awesome. That makes perfect sense. And that's pretty much all the notes that I have here. Brendan, did you have anything else that you wanted to cover in regards to some of the benefits of having a good credit score?
I think, the principle of having a good credit score means you're really good at satisfying your obligations and your word is very strong. It's symbolic that, you do what you say you're going to do. Until you get into the higher aspects of banking where you realize you're actually gifting them these securities and you giving them the social is actually granting them huge amounts of revenue, and you don't know how to claim that. If you're not at that point, you're going into it with the understanding that I'm going to pay this back. And so if you're able to do that, then most people would deem you as someone who's trustworthy. And so having good credit from a principal standpoint means that you're trustworthy. So, and for everyone, I think that's the most important thing. No one wants to feel like that they can't be trusted.
Right. Nobody wants to walk in and get their credit ran at a car dealership and then find out that they only qualify for 20% interest loans because they never pay back any of their obligations.
Oh yeah, it's embarrassing for many people. And it shouldn't be. Once you know how it works, it's embarrassing for people because they don't know how it works. They're being asked for something they don't really understand.
Right.
So once you understand it and you at least know about it, then uh, it's not too difficult to maintain your responsibilities.
Absolutely.
But
And
even then, remember it's an insurance card. Things happen, right? You get sick, you lose a job, stuff like that happens. There should be also a way for you to be able to maintain a clean record without being afraid of maybe making a mistake once or twice.
right, and kind of a lot of that can really comes with no with a comprehension of being able to properly run your estate.
Yep.
So, and I think that we'll create another YouTube channel where we'll kind of dive into more of the private side of things, because this channel is mostly focused on the public side in relation to people's credit, but there's a whole other end that we don't really get to talk about that's on the private end. And I think it would be really fun to explore that. So if you guys are interested in hearing about that private end, let us know.
Yeah, leave us a comment, like on this video. When we do create those videos, we will link them into the description box so you guys can check that out. Make sure to share this with your friends, anyone who's learning. I know a lot of people are out there learning about the consumer laws and stuff. A lot of the people that contact me through YouTube are coming at me through the consumer law side. So definitely share this channel with them, because there will be a lot more content involving that.
Yep. And the last thing, if you or anybody that you know needs your credit fixed, then go ahead and give us a shout out, give us a phone call.
Give us a call, and numbers on the YouTube channel. And
free consultation.
Yep, free consultation. We'll see if we can help you out. We can eliminate pretty much anything. We have a fantastic team. And if you want to do it yourself, you can contact me for the debt removal package. We accept those now by donation. So I will drop the where you can leave a donation and an email in the description. And we will distribute that document to you. You can see that document in our previous video called How to Leverage Federal Law to Get Your Items Removed Off Your Credit Report.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty much all I have. Brendan?
Yep, that's it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you again very soon.